Hello everyone, welcome back to Introducing Literature, Module 3, Literature and Ideology, Lesson 5. In the last class, we read a passage from Charlotte Bronte's famous novel Jane Eyre to find out how male ideology is embedded in it. Then, we read a passage by Maya Angelou showing how black women are doubly marginalized. Now, let us continue. Identifying subject and object. In the passages you have read earlier, there is a subject and an object. In terms of theory, the subject is one who has the power. Object is one on whom the power is exercised. Or we can say that subject is the oppressor and object is the oppressed. In the passage from Arundhati Roy's The God of Small Things, the Paravan community is the object and the upper class is the subject. Similarly, in Jane Eyre, the narrator, woman, is the object and Mr. Rochester, man, is the subject. In Maya Angelou's passage, the narrator, black woman, is the object and the white is the subject. From these examples, you will understand that some social groups, categories, communities, for example, women, blacks, Dalits, are excluded from the privileges of language, knowledge, material wealth, high culture, and mainstream social spaces. That is, a category of people are excluded, ignored from privileges. Now listen carefully. The word politics is used to refer about the perspective of the text. In olden times, after listening to a story, we were asked, what is the message of the story? Similarly, a question like this can be asked about any artwork. What is the politics of the novel or film or any artwork? The meaning of this question is this: with whom does this film or novel stand? With the subject or object? With the oppressor or the oppressed? A YouTube link is referred in the textbook, page number 90. It is an ad of Fair and Lovely. You can see the images from the ad. The image of a sad woman who is dark complexioned and she is unable to get a job. Then she uses Fair and Lovely and there is a gradual progress in her skin complexion. Then a fair woman, she wins the job. According to the advertisement, the model in the ad got the job of the air hostess on account of her fair skin, not because of her other accomplishments. The advertisement, like every text, creates meaning through language and images. The term discourse is used by Michel Foucault to describe the connection between power, knowledge, and language. Foucault identifies how knowledge is used to acquire power and how it is used to control the powerless people. Now we are continuing our exercises of finding the politics of the texts. Now we are going to analyze a short narrative by George Orwell, the famous English writer. It is called A Hanging. George Orwell worked in British Imperial Police from 1922 to 27. This narrative describes an experience from that period. It tells about the execution of a criminal. So I am providing here a summary of the passage. Numbers are given according to the paragraph. 1. The events take place in Burma in a jail, a rainy day. The narrator describes a condemned cell. The people who were sentenced to death live in condemned cells. Narrator describes the cells, its size, the properties in them. There are some people in the cells. Quotation. In some of them, brown, silent men were squatting at the inner bars. Squatting means sit with knees bent, says the narrator. These men were due to be hanged within next week or two. That is the first paragraph. Pay attention to the brown skin of the prisoners. It shows they are Asians. The narrator is a white man who belongs to the police. Now the second para. One of these men was an Indian. He was a Hindu. 6 Indian guards were getting him ready to take him to the gallows for hanging. They handcuffed him, tied him with chain, stood guard with guns. He didn't resist. He was mechanical in his reactions. At 8 o'clock, the superintendent of the jail stood up. He asked the head jailer, Francis, the man ought to have been dead by this time. Aren't you ready yet? Fourth para. Francis was a Dravidian. Dravidian means a South Asian community of people often considered as inferior by the upper classes. Francis replied that everything is set and the hangman is waiting. Then para 5. The prisoner was taken to the gallows with guards on his sides. Suddenly, a dog appeared and came near the prisoner, wagging its tail and showing affection towards the prisoner. The superintendent became angry and asked to catch the dog. Para 6. A Eurasian jailer tried to throw stones at the dog, but still the dog followed the prisoner. Then the dog is forcefully taken away. Eurasian is a cross between a European and Asian. So here we are stopping. We will be continuing in the next class. Meanwhile, read the narrative from 1 to 6th para, page number 90 to 92. Thank you.